guys, it's 21 Maxwell here, and welcome to another WWE Updates pay-per-view. It is our first brand exclusive pay-per-view, and it's Monday Night Raw's WWE Armageddon that we're bringing to you today in the second week of December. Next week, the SmackDown brand will bring you tables, ladders, and chairs. So we are in Hawaii. It's the Aloha Stadium. It's going to be hosting it, so a 50,000 capacity. We'll just be shorter than that with our attendance, but hopefully a good show. And the Raw brand shows you what it's capable, and some of the wrestlers that you might not have been familiar with, what we're hoping to do with them. So we'll kick on, and I hope you enjoy Armageddon. So 47,928, happy with that. And an E92 for the pre-show hype video, hyping up the main feud, which is Seth versus Roman. Seth winning a #1 contendership to face Roman Reigns to get his opportunity here. It continues the Survival G1 storyline that we've been doing because they were both in it. It's a show off their strong start and it gets the crowd hot up. So bear in mind it's going to be 6 weeks after this until the next pay-per-view, the Rumble, for the Raw brand. It's a good opportunity for Roman and Seth to, whoever wins this matchup, to have a good couple of weeks as champion. Only negative was it was limited for being short and the commentary work of Corey Graves. But it's really hard to find a really good commentator because Mauro has been really struggling on SmackDown and there's literally no one good. I literally had to move Matt Striker to lead commentator and bring in Booker T as a colour commentator just to really help try and make sure we weren't getting that negative for him. Our opening contest delivers actually very well, and a bout that had great wrestling and good heat. The rematch between The Miz and Samoa Joe saw The Miz win, and 17-20 by pinfall with a skull-crushing finale, making defence number 4 of his title. No real need to take the title off of The Miz at the moment. He's been doing well with it, but a good little feud for him and Joe, and Joe's been kind of beating him up and stuff, and kind of like Miz TV segments where Miz has insulted him and Joe's just had enough. So E+87, Miz survives again. The match got the crowd hotter. Samoa Joe win 83, The Miz within 90, and it continues their storyline. Whether it goes through to the Rumble remains to be seen, but overall, pretty happy. Only negative was capped with short match length. And basically after it, Miz cuts a promo just saying, "I'm still a champion, no one's going to beat me," and that gets a solid A90. Next up, we have a promo from our new tag team in the tag team division, which is Mojo Bojo. Don't ask why I've called them that. But D+52, Bo does a masterful job improvising. Mojo struggled off script, but it's kind of like a comedy tag team. I had two options for Bo, which was to make this tag team or make the Bovolution. So we went with Bo and Mojo together as Mojo Bojo. So decent promo there. We're slowly but building them up the card. And their matchup was decent. They had little heat, and it was System X who defeated Mojo Bojo in 11:50 when Dachi Hashimoto defeated Bo Dallas by pinfall with a vertical drop brainbuster. Mojo Rawley was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performances. This gave us a C+71. Both Hashimoto and Fujita are improving at their gimmick. Fujita with 71 and Hashimoto with 71. A 45 for Mojo, who's the weak link, and a 59 for Bo Dallas. So overall, pretty happy with that. No skill improvements, but a good showcase for the new tag team, and hopefully it improves the morale of Fujita and Hashimoto. Next up, we basically just did a promo with Shane McMahon saying that Bobby Roode's been fired. So it's a C+69. He's unhappy, doesn't want to sign a new contract, so he's going. Togi Makabe has requested his release just for not appealing in any of the specials. Del Rio is leaving and his contract won't sign a new one. Kevin Owens for some reason requested his release, despite only missing 2 Grand Prix through being rested, and the fact he has there's nobody that he hates that's been signed, so very strange, but he's been kept on. He's still got 3 years left in his contract. I'm just going to have to keep booking him strong and try and make him happy. Either that or just job him out and release him. Unsure what we're going to do. The long-term contract makes me think, maybe just push him. But Bobby Roode is gone, so that puts away any chances of the glorious kingdom I was going to build. Next up, and about the decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, we had Kofi defeat Xavier Woods in 12:30 with a handful of attacks. C plus 68. Kofi got enough of Xavier Woods, he kept losing, Kofi turned his back on him, finally splitting the end of the New Day. So Kofi gets the victory here. We're going to give him one shot to go up the ranks, basically. Not suited to his gimmick, although we'll need to tweak that. Xavier Woods with 59, Kofi Kingston with 71, and overall, just in the moves on the storyline, I get my words right there. Kofi Kingston improving performance skills, and Xavier Woods in Rumble. Negatives, both men holding back and the low storyline heat. It is a new storyline, but we'll build that over the course of the next few weeks. Next up, in a match that had decent wrestling but little heat, it was American Alpha who defeated DIY in 15:13 when Chad Gable defeated Johnny Gargano by pinfall, with American Alpha making defense number 1 of the World Tag Team titles. A very impressive B73. Gargano suffered a compound zygomatic fracture, but good performances from Gable at 72, Jordan at 75. Gargano and Ciampa taking up their first opportunity on pay-per-view with 60s, and it continues that storyline, just giving a lot of guys a chance in the tag division. We'll see a few new teams, we'll see a few different teams getting reigns. Hopefully it kind of builds up their characters, gets them over, we can maybe see some new single stars down the line. No improvements, just a negative there for the storyline's heat and Jason Jordan's inconsistency, but very happy with that. And next up, American Alpha celebrating the fact that they've won, and they're beaten down by the new tag team in Raw, which is the Briscoe brothers. Just decided, why not, bring them in, give them an opportunity. I guess a C plus 68 adds a bit more depth to the tag division. Both men debuting with a redneck gimmick. Mark Briscoe average, above average, Jay Briscoe with a poor rating for his gimmick. No skill improvements. Jay Briscoe, the only negative there, but again, it's building up some more talents in the lower card. Next up and about that had some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. It was the Wyatt family's Braun Strowman, Luke Harper and Baron Corbin defeating Jeff Hardy and Enzo and Big Cass in 16:01 when Baron Corbin defeated Jeff Hardy with the End of Days. Baron Corbin and the Wyatt family make defence number 2 of the Trios Championship, again proving that Enzo and Big Cass can't find a partner to defeat the troublesome trio, and a pretty okay rating there, B-74 considering the lack of psychology. Jeff Hardy with 73, Big Cass 76, Enzo at 68. Another side though, a Baron Corbin 87, a Luke Harper 94, and an 86 performance from Braun Strowman. So these have been handled even brilliantly. So continues their storyline, although we may change it up going forward. Luke Harper improving technical skills, Braun Strowman in flying. Overall, apart from the psychology aspect, very happy with that. Next up, we've got Sasha Banks cutting a promo, which gets a B-74. She's really just stating her case that she's going to come back and win the Women's Championship against Bayley. So that continues their storyline. The matchup itself included Billie Kay, giving her an opportunity on pay-per-view, and then about that had some decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. Bayley defeated Billie Kay and Sasha in 13:42 when Bayley defeated Sasha Banks by pinfall with a hugplex. Bayley makes the first defence of her championship. A B78 is very good for the women's division as we're still building them up. Bayley with 79, Billie Kay 66, and a 72 for Sasha. It continues the women's division storyline. I think I do need to build more heels up, so I'll see what I can work on over the next 6 weeks in the women's division on Raw. No skill improvements, and from the negative perspective, a couple of ladies with inconsistency, but overall, pretty happy. Next up, Dolph Ziggler cuts a promo before his match with John Cena in A90. Obviously, Ziggler transferred from SmackDown to Raw, here to prove a point, and he's here to take down John Cena. So obviously Cena losing the World Heavyweight Championship, he's back on Raw instantly because of this, and he's picking a fight with Dolph Ziggler. And their matchup was superb wrestling and great heat. Cena beats Ziggler in 21:39 by pinfall with the AA. A90, that's great. That's the kind of matches we want Ziggler to have. I'm really hoping the move to Raw is going to, just give him a new burst of life into his career and maybe give him probable reign at the top. But Cena 92, Ziggler 187. It'll continue their feud. It'll go on for a bit longer, but I don't know if they'll have actual matches on pay-per-view. Maybe like finish it on Raw over the next 6 weeks. But Ziggler improving Rumble's skills, and overall just very happy there with that rating, considering a few negatives as well. Next up, we've got the team of Eva Marie and Cesaro cutting a promo. Eva, as always, getting in Cesaro's spotlight. A B+86 there. Performance of Cesaro was good. Cesaro using subtle mannerisms to hint at a future face turn, which probably will come down the line. But as I say, Eva Marie's getting more over where she's not a negative here. So good on her for that rating there. Punk cuts a promo on Big E, which again, the same kind of thing. It's a fatal four-way. It's going to be CM Punk, Dean Ambrose, Big E, and Cesaro. Winner gets the #1 contendership. Post Armageddon tonight. So in A90, Punk hypes the promo on Big E, continuing that storyline and improvising well. The matchup though, the co-main event, delivers a 93, so excellent. An exceptional matchup, Dean Ambrose defeats CM Punk, Big E, and Cesaro in 21:41 when Dean Ambrose defeated Big E by pinfall with a midnight special. A93 is perfect, Punk with a 93 performance, Dean Ambrose 95, Big E 90, and Cesaro 95. So these are all top guys on Raw. Continues the storyline, although they're going to split into a few different storylines heading into the Rumble. No skill improvements to speak of here, and just very good rating apart from a few negatives for Punk. But good on Dean Ambrose, he will be the #1 contender. But who will he face at the Royal Rumble? So we got a promo from Seth first on Roman, which is an A91. Seth looked good and it continued the storyline for the survival because they're all in that. And the match itself, can it top the Battleground matchup? It doesn't. So a good wee bit down from its Battleground matchup, which was a 100, which is why I wanted to try it again. But in about that had sensational wrestling and fantastic heat. Roman Reigns defeats Seth Rollins in 22:35 by pinfall. Roman making defense #6 of the WWE Championship. So A90 is a good ending to the show still. Seth with 95, Roman with a 98. Continues that storyline, which will now branch into a few new ones, as previously mentioned. Roman improving his performance skills. Negatives here, just the announce team. So overall, good performance from Roman Reigns. He's been champion since pretty much June, and he's been on a roll ever since. And we finish the show with a stare down between the #1 contender and champion. Dean Ambrose comes down and says, I'm the next guy to be champion. It's only a matter of time, Roman, before you lose that. So B+89. Ambrose came out of it looking excellent. Roman Reigns came out of it looking well. And end show, which gets us an A90. It's hard to believe, like a year ago in game, we were frequently getting, 79s, 80s. Now we're frequently about the A's and the 90s, so we've pretty much got our main guys over. That we can do this now in brand specific pay-per-views and getting good ratings. So I think we'll give the thumbs up to Cesaro, Big E, and to keep them happy, CM Punk. So praise them all for great performances. Cesaro was pleased, Big E was pleased, as was CM Punk, who is a bit of a pain in the ass because he's turned the whole roster against Luke Harper. So now I've got so many simmering tension relationships with Harper. And even here, Tarantella on the rise, we should probably use her. Apart from that, nothing else that really affects us. Armageddon was fantastic. The Battleground thing. Buy rate 2.76, which is 1.3 million buys, so we'll see how that does financially. Check out Johnny Gargano's injury. Drug test was 5k. John Cena likes Tommaso Ciampa, so could we see a solo run for Tommaso? Let's quickly have a look at the medical situation then. And Gargano 5 months and 3 weeks. I'm probably, because it's low risk, we're going to start the surgery and we'll see. Surgery has been deemed a complete success. Johnny Gargano should now be back in action much sooner than first thought, and the surgeons are confident that any damage will have been reduced dramatically. So he'll be back in 3 months and 2 weeks, so he'll be back. But will he be back for Mania? In fact, he might be back literally the day after WrestleMania, so remember that one. But you can see we've got a few injuries. Del Rio's nearly up, Joe Coffey's nearly up, Emma's nearly back to full fitness, Becky Lynch a wee while yet. Financially though, 8 million off pay-per-view, that's good. Obviously we've got our second pay-per-view next week, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Still got a couple of shows to go. The 20 million and 18 million ticket revenue, won't be getting that anymore. It'll be back down to the 6 million, because obviously it's just Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-views, no more of the Grand Prix. But apart from that, up to 200 million, that'll obviously drop a little bit, but still, prestige is good, momentum is good, and the first Raw pay-per-views went well. Now it's up to the SmackDown brand next week to see how that does. So the next episode will be SmackDown's TLC. That'll be next week. After that, we'll have the end of year top 500, the rest of the year and stuff like that. And we'll probably take a detailed look over the roster, champions, creative meeting, and where we go for that. So thanks always for watching, guys. If you get any comments, please leave them in the comments section below. Any opinions on this? If you're booking WWE, how are you going yourself with them? Let me know. Of course, as always, likes and subscriptions are always deeply appreciated. Gets a bit of exposure out there. And I mean, if we keep working together, we can make this TW community thing actually work. So it's appreciated, guys, and hopefully I'll see you next time for some TLC. And if Eric Rowan and Big Show are there, stairs. Though thankfully, they're not. So until then, bye bye.